In this video, we're going to show you how to set up your water chiller, from unboxing and hose installation to product recommendations and cleaning steps. No matter what kind of setup you have, our ice pod, long pod, or another type of tub, this guide will walk you through everything you need to get your system up and running. Now, before we get started, there are just two things to check. First, make sure your chiller has been sitting upright on a stable surface for at least 3 to 4 hours. This gives the refrigerant time to settle and helps prevent any damage when you power it on. And second, if it's winter or freezing where you live, the chiller usually isn't needed at all. In cooler conditions, the water will naturally stay cold on its own, so you can simply use your tub without the chiller and come back to this setup when temperatures are warmer. If you're good on those two things, let's move on and get started. First things first, we recommend placing your chiller near a grounded outlet, ideally a GFCI outlet. That's just the kind with 3 pins, like the one shown here on the screen. While setting up, make sure your chiller has room to breathe. Don't put it up against a wall or place it inside a box. And definitely don't cover it with anything like a blanket, since that can block airflow and affect performance. For best results, we also recommend placing the chiller in a shaded area. And if it's indoors, opening a window nearby can help with airflow too. With the setup space ready and everything covered, let's go ahead and unbox what's inside the package. These are all the accessories that come with your Chiller 2.0. Make sure you've got everything laid out and ready to go before we move forward. Specifically, you should have the following: 1 chiller unit, 2 connection hoses with pre-installed click and connect fittings, 1 filter canister, 1 filter key, 1 wrench, 2 male drain valve fittings, 2 female fittings, 1 paper fiber filter, black and white gaskets for tightening and leak prevention, and 1 printed setup manual. If you've got everything laid out, we're ready to move on. Let's get started by filling your pod with water. Make sure both drain valves are fully closed before you begin. Next, take 2 black gaskets and slide one onto each of the male drain valve fittings. Make sure to push them all the way back. Then, screw the fittings into the drain valves on your pod. It doesn't matter which goes where, just make sure both are tightened snugly. Before we install anything else, take the 3 remaining black gaskets and install them now. One goes on the inlet port of the chiller, one goes on the outlet port, and the last one goes on the filter canister's threaded outlet. Then place the white gasket inside the open port of the filter canister, lightly pressing it in so it sits centered. Lastly, screw the canister onto the inlet port and tighten it with the included wrench until snug. There are now just 2 open threads, one on the filter canister and one on the outlet port of the chiller. Start by wrapping a few rounds of Teflon tape around the canister's outlet thread. Then screw one of the female fittings onto the filter canister. Repeat the same process for the outlet port. Wrap it with Teflon tape just like before. Now attach the second female fitting onto the chiller outlet. Your fittings are installed. Now let's connect the hoses. Start by taking one hose and clicking it onto the filter canister. Then connect the other end to the lower drain valve on your pod. Next, take the second hose and connect it to the outlet port on the chiller. Then attach the other end to the upper drain valve. At this point, everything is connected and your setup is physically complete. And if you're wondering about the filter key, don't worry. You don't need it for setup. It's only used during cleaning, which we'll cover later. With everything connected, let's move on to getting your chiller powered on and started up properly. Start by opening both drain valves on your pod. This allows water to begin flowing into the chiller. Next, place a towel or blanket around the top of the filter canister. Water may spray out during venting, so it's good to protect the area. Now gently open the air vent on top of the filter canister. This releases trapped air as the system fills. Once the canister fills about 3/4 of the way and water begins to come out of the vent, go ahead and tighten the vent to close it. Now it's time to power up the system. On the plug, press the safety reset button to activate power. You'll usually hear a small click when it engages. Then press the power switch on the back of the chiller. You'll see the screen light up. Your chiller is now running. To change your display from Celsius to Fahrenheit, press and hold the set button. Then use the up and down arrows to navigate to P4 and press the set button again. Then use the up and down arrows to change from Celsius to Fahrenheit and press the set button one more time. To set your temperature, simply press the set button once. Then use the arrow buttons to choose your target temperature. Please note, setting it lower won't cool faster. It'll only run the compressor longer. so always choose your target temperature. To connect your chiller to Wi-Fi, first make sure your phone is on a 2.4 GHz network, as the Tua Smart app doesn't support 5 GHz Wi-Fi. First, press and hold the set button on the chiller until the advanced menu appears. When you see P1, press the up arrow until you reach P5. Set P5 to on to enable Wi-Fi pairing. The Wi-Fi icon will begin to blink. Now open the Tuya Smart app on your phone. Select Add Device, choose your chiller, and enter your Wi-Fi password. Once connected, the blinking icon will turn solid and you're done. From the app, you can monitor the current temperature, set your target, lock the display, or turn the chiller on and off all remotely. And that's it. Your chiller is now fully set up and connected. It will automatically maintain your set temperature 24/7, so your cold plunge is always ready when you are. Now let's take a quick look at how to clean your filter and how to store your chiller safely during winter. Firstly, we recommend cleaning both filters once every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on use, and fully replacing the paper fiber filter roughly every 6 to 8 weeks. To clean the filter, first turn off the chiller and close the drain valves on your pot. Then unscrew the transparent canister using your hand. Remove the paper fiber filter and rinse it gently under running water. Next, use the included filter key to unscrew and remove the mesh filter. Rinse it out and brush away any debris. Once both filters are clean, place them back in their housing, reassemble everything securely, and turn the system on as shown earlier. If winter is coming and temperatures are dropping below freezing, we don't recommend keeping the chiller outside. To prepare the unit, start by turning off the unit, shutting the valves on the pod, and disconnecting the hoses. Then locate the drainage plug on the bottom corner of your chiller and unscrew it to let out any remaining water. Once drained, move the unit into a dry, room temperature space. Even a small amount of leftover water could freeze and damage internal components. And when winter's over, just follow the same video to get everything set up again for spring. Now let's quickly go over some of the most popular accessories and products you can add to your cold plunge setup. To speed up the cooling process and reduce the workload on your chiller, we recommend using our insulated lid and cover set. Not only will this help your water cool much faster, but it also keeps the water cooler for longer, prevents condensation, and adds a child-proof layer of safety. We also recommend using our circulation jet as it makes the water feel even colder, which allows you to save on electricity by not having to set the temperature as low. With the lid and cover set installed, your ice pod is optimized for efficiency and convenience. And don't forget, leave your chiller running until it reaches your desired temperature for the best results. To help extend the time between filter and water changes, we highly recommend subscribing to our chiller maintenance pack. This 4-month supply includes 4 replacement filters, 4 water stabilizers, 2 cleansers, and some antibacterial cleaning pads. By adding just 2 ounces of stabilizer each week, you can keep your water and filter in top condition for up to 40 to 45 days, preventing scum and algae buildup while working in harmony with the filter for optimal results. And that's it. Your water chiller is now fully set up. For further assistance, visit our help center where you can find detailed guides, live chat, and phone support. Thank you for choosing Pod Company.